Okay, welcome to this video from Painter and Decorator York, and this is about how much does it cost to hire a painter and decorator. Now there's a huge variable out there, and no doubt you've all had quotes, estimations and all sorts of different prices from many different decorators over the years. Okay, so it's just to have a look at things as they stand and the prices that some of the decorators are charging. Now they can work in various ways, from a day rate, a total job rate or hourly rate, or years experience rate. And now one of the things you do have to watch out is the difference between estimate rate and a quote rate. And I'll tell you when I finish rate. You know which one to avoid there. Yes, okay. Well, day rates generally around the York and surrounding area in most of the UK, unless you're in London, then the rates will vary between 150 to probably 250 a day, maybe a bit more. It all depends really. That's if you're looking at a daily rate. Now, one of the downfalls sometimes to daily rates is you will find some painter and decorators will make sure that that job lasts quite a long time. You can end up paying way more than you need to be paying for a job, because one of the difficulties is if somebody gives you, say, a total job rate and they finish it in a short period of time, you think, wow, that's cost me, I don't know, £300-400 a day. There may have been two blokes on there and really worked hard and done long days to get it all finished, but you question that. But somebody on a day rate can make that last for 10 days, double the time. So, you know, you've got to be a little bit careful on day rates. And the next thing is hourly rate. Absolutely the same again. You know, hourly rates are fine if, you know, I have ones that work for me on an hourly rate, and that's fair enough. But I look after everything, and if somebody isn't giving the amount that they should be giving for that hourly rate, then they won't be giving it for much longer. And I think you should be the same as well. If you get somebody on a daily rate and you're then going out to work all day, you've got to watch them. The next video is actually going to be about some of these, I won't say scams, but unscrupulous ways in which some of the painter and decorators can work, and all the other trades as well. Now, I like to come on to this bit really about the year's experience rate, because if somebody asks me, well, how much will you charge, why do you charge this, I've had somebody who quotes me, you know, a lot less than you. I says, well, I never quote for the day rate. I quote for the experience that you get to get a good quality job. Because yes, of course, I think sometimes people say, why don't you just slap it on? And if anybody contacts us and says, look, we just want a quick rush job, just paint over the top, make a real old mess of it, to be honest. What they're really saying is, I want it as cheap as anything. I don't want a good job. I just want it painted so it looks, painted. 6 months down the line, it's all flaking off. Who did you paint in? Painter and Decorator York. So that reflects on us. So we won't do that type of work. I think you've got to have pride in the work that you actually do and do a good job. And I think that's in all walks of life. You know, what's the point in going to work and not enjoying and actually giving your all? Now, coming on to the next is between estimate and quote. We always give a quote and a written quote as well. Do not accept if a painter and decorator says to you, yeah, I will do that for, I don't know, £750 or £1,200, whatever. You want it in writing. Every time we go out, we actually leave a written quote. It's pre-formatted. We go over and we actually tick the boxes and we actually make sure it's absolutely clear. We sign it, take a copy, leave that with the customer for then decide if they want to go with us or not. So it's absolutely clear on how we work and how we expect to be paid and what we're going to do for them. Right. The estimate rate is really something we don't do on an estimate. It's unless it was a really big job where it's difficult to really tell how much it's going to cost overall if other things come into play. But in most cases, that's not the case. An estimate rate is really something that can be anything. They can give you a price for the worst case I've seen, a price for 600. At the end of the job, somebody got an extra 2,000, was it 2,200 in extras? That's not possible. That's going to come up in the next video about some of the scams or, you know, unscrupulous ways some painters and decorators can work. So the other thing is, which I mentioned before, tell you when I finish rate, is why would somebody get somebody and not have an idea how much they're going to charge them? If you're mega wealthy and all the rest of it, you probably haven't got mega wealthy by not knowing how much you're going to pay for something. But now, you know, most people, you need to know what you're going to be paying. So tell you when I finish rate is a no-no. If anybody says, I'll see what it's like, don't worry, I'll do you a good price and all the rest of it, kick them out. You don't want them. Okay, the other thing I will say on this as well, on quotes, generally, we get probably half our work because we're the only ones that turn up when we say we're going to turn up to give a quote, give them a written quotation, and then leave it with them. The number of times we go along and people say, we've contacted 4, one was going to come and he rung up and says he couldn't, the others just didn't bother turning up, or one come and said a really ridiculously low price, and there's a reason to do that, and I'll explain that in the next video. Had a start date, just didn't come, couldn't contact him. I'll explain more on this in the next video. So I hope you've enjoyed this, got something from it, a little bit more explanation, and I'll see you in the next video. From me, David, at Painter and Decorator York. Bye for now.